Welcome to Books and Besties, the virtual book fair. Share this link with others and get ready for something awesome. Books and Besties, the virtual book fair.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's me, the Queen Bee, Dr. Angie BEE, and I'm welcoming you to today's episode of Books and Besties. My co-host Avalon and I are thrilled that you are here. Today's episode has got some special treats that we've lined up for you. A couple of besties are going to pop in and say hello to us. And so we're definitely excited. This is the day the Lord has made, and we're rejoicing and we're glad in it, glad about it. So if you are watching us on YouTube, please say hi in the comment section if you don't mind. Tell us what city or state or country you're logged on from. And if you're watching us on Facebook, please do the same. Please like the show and please share it with friends and family. We appreciate your support in this broadcast. We truly do. I'd like to talk real briefly about the upcoming Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar for Alopecia Awareness. It takes place September 19th in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'd like to introduce you to a couple of our scheduled models. Our featured model, Cassandra Green. She's from Atlanta, Georgia, and her hobbies include writing, directing, and event decor. We've also got Nakia Bruce, who's our featured model. She's a project manager, a published author, and poet. She enjoys crocheting and baking. I hope some of what she's baking is chocolate. I really do. I really do. And then we've got a couple of sponsors I'd like to introduce to you. We've got Debbie Scarborough, an independent benefit representative with AMBA. I've got a couple of her policies over my life and my travels. I'm excited about that. And we've also got Black-owned beauty supply in Jacksonville, Florida, JTB Beauty Supply on Phillips Highway in Jacksonville. You can check them out when you come to the Beauty Bazaar, or if you're in Jacksonville, go by and see them. 11035 Phillips Highway in Jacksonville. It's next to a mattress firm. So go get you a mattress and get you some beauty supply products too. We've also got organic brewed tea and lemonade from St. James. I'm going to have to take a picture of these boxes of beverages that they sent to us so that the models can be refreshed during the fashion show. Excited about that. And our supportive sponsor is Stan Harrison with State Farm. You can visit him at stantheinsuranceman.net. stantheinsuranceman.net. That's for purpose and protection. The Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Fashion Show again takes place Saturday, September 19th from 11 to 4. And our inaugural sneaker ball for alopecia awareness takes place later that night, beginning at 7 p.m. So we've got we're having a big to-do about the fashion show and the beauty bazaar because this is our 10-year anniversary. We've been doing this for 10 years, and it technically, the sneaker ball and the fashion show are events that take place during the beauty bazaar weekend retreat. So folks come in on Thursday nights. We have an all-white photo shoot on the beach on Friday. Saturday is the fashion show and the sneaker ball. And then Sunday is praise, prayer, and preparation to head home. And so we're excited about that. For more information, you can search for Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar on Facebook. That's Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar on Facebook. Okay, it's time to bring in my co-host, Author Avalon S. Brown. Hey, girl. Hey.
Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everyone.
Good morning, dear. I love your necklace and earring set.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Just something simple.
So dainty. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, tell us about the book festival, the children's book festival last week.
Oh, yes, it was very nice. There were lots of authors there, lots of children playing, face painting, popcorn popping. They had the bouncy what do you call them? Bouncy houses out there. It was really nice. It was really nice. They gave away a lot of book bags to the children. It was really nice. Children had a lot of fun. I enjoyed too.
Good, good. I know you said your granddaughter was there with you.
Yes, yes. And my great grandson was running around somewhere. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Glad to hear it. You were telling me that there were a couple of kids that really wanted your books.
Yeah,
Tell
they
us
liked
about
that.
that.
There was one little boy, he was holding on to Michelle's dream to be a nurse. I don't know, he just really liked that book. Another little girl, seemed to be the popular book last week. Michelle's dream to be a nurse. I don't know if it's the color of the the cover, but that seemed to been the popular one last week.
All right. That's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. I tell you, it makes a difference when you've got different types of attractive features in your
Yeah,
book, either the book cover, or I've seen some people flip the pages inside, and once they see some pictures or some color, they get excited about what's inside the book. And so it
yeah,
does make a difference.
and the town librarian was there. So
Mm.
she was saying they set up a special section in the library for indie authors. So she was collecting books. If we wanted our books exhibited in the library, then all we had to do was put it in the box, and they was gonna, they're taking it to the library to set them up for exhibit. People will be able to take them in and out. You know how you do in the library, sign out and bring them back. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, honey, that's so nice. I'm glad to hear you out and about like authors are supposed to be, out and about introducing our books. Yeah.
Trying.
Yep, yep, yep. Well, we've got Jeffrey Lee waiting in the wings to come on and tell us about. Why don't you tell me about Jeffrey?
Jeffrey Lee is a retired executive with more than 35 years of leadership experience at Pepsi Cola, Time Warner, Johnson and Johnson, and Campbell Soup. He specializes in revenue growth, organizational design, process improvement, and leadership development. He is the principal of Cecil Street Investment Group, focused on real estate investment and business consulting, and the founder of Rock Bottom University, a personal developmental company helping individuals turn adversity into strength. He is the author of Welcome Back to Rock Bottom University, The Ultimate Guide to Rising Up, and leads transformative experimental workshops nationwide. He's a sought after universal speaker. He's also committed to giving back, providing annual scholarships to Philadelphia public school students for 25 years and establishing a 250,000 endowment at Shippensburg University.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
My goodness. Welcome to Books and Besties, Jeffrey. Welcome to the show.
Wow, nice and colorful too. Good morning.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Did I hear Avalon say you're in Philadelphia?
I'm actually, I live in Florida, but I'm born and raised in Philly. So I'm back in Philly probably every 4 weeks. I have a 90-year-old mother that is still in good shape. So I'll be bringing her down. She wants to come down and hang out a little bit. So I'm up there just about every 4 weeks.
What
Oh,
city are you in Florida? I'm in Jacksonville.
I'm in Kissimmee.
Oh yeah.
We're neighbors.
We are. I go to Westgate, right there on Earl of Bronson near the
Yep.
Walmart. I go there once a year when my parents come to town. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome.
that's good. That's good. Welcome to Florida, Mom. I know
Thank you.
she's gonna have a great time when she's
Yeah, she
here.
is. Definitely.
I really respect your resume, Pepsi and other places. Tell us a little bit about your career.
Yeah, it's interesting. Let me start with my degree. My degree is in psychology. So I came out with this mindset that I was going to basically save the world through working in social services. That lasted about 3 years.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And you say, why? I said, a couple things happened. Number one, I lost my objectivity, and you can't do that in that business.
Right.
And number two, I couldn't make any money.
Right.
So I decided that unless I went back for a master's or basically a PhD, it was going to be a long road to actually trying to achieve some income. So I decided to figure out what are my skill sets that I could potentially transfer into the world of business.
Mm-hmm.
And a buddy of mine talked to me. He talked me into. He said, "Jeff, you got really great influencing skills." I'm like, "Really? I mean, we talk a lot." I mean, he's giving me a little street game there, but I started thinking about my influencing skills in terms of how I was helping people to get better from a mental wellness standpoint, which is great. The transition going into the world of business is a little bit different. So I was able to package my skills up with a little bit of coaching. And I decided that one of the best ways for me to make my move into corporate America was through the sales angle.
Mm.
And the key to that was I didn't know enough. I didn't know what I didn't know until I did research. And the one thing I noticed was that, okay, you're in social services. You don't have a car. You're living at home with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Things are not looking very good for you.
Yeah.
But if you move into one of these corporate sales roles, they will give you a brand new car every 2 to 3 years. You're making good money, base salary, bonuses, and now life starts to be a little bit more wide open. And oh, by the way, if you do a good job, relocation is wide open. So I decided to pursue that angle. I started out with Johnson & Johnson, moved into a sales role, but it was an inside sales role, not what I was really looking for, where you're actually selling over the phone. But the beauty of it is Johnson & Johnson is such a great company. And the way they laid out my career track, it was like, hey, Jeff, if you come in here and do well on the inside, then what's going to happen is you're going to move to the outside. You're going to get exactly what you want, which is the company car, the bonus, the base. And that's exactly what happened. I did very well. I transitioned from being inside sales, and then they moved me to New York. So I started my career working in New York. Long Island was my territory. Ran the Long Island area. I did well I was there for about 3 years. And then something crazy happened, something that I'm probably going to date myself here. They had the Tylenol crisis.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Ooh. Yeah, and I actually kept that in my book. And I was J&J. That was one of their products. That was the only product I was selling. So at that point, I'm like, all my customers are saying, Jeff, great company, but you guys are in trouble. Tylenol is dead. And I started to think, I'm like, you know what? I need to reassess some things. So at that stage, I started putting my resume out there. But Tylenol, because of this great leadership, I talk a little bit about in my book called Destiny, in chapter called Destiny Living. James Burke led that organization through one of the most difficult transformation experiences probably ever seen in corporate America. And it still is a textbook based in university today. Wow. We survived it, but then I started, just like sports, if you're really producing, all of a sudden you get recruiters calling you with different opportunities. But I was in a good place, and that's a great place to leverage your money side of things when people start to put things that they think is a little bit better for you. I landed a role with Time Warner in New York, Rockefeller Center. And I thought, okay, at that point in time, I was living out in Islip. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing well. But now, do you really think you big time? You got to go work in Manhattan.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what happened. So I landed with Time Warner, and they doubled my income. I was the thing that this is where affirmative action comes into play. So I'm talking a little bit about a couple of things here. So affirmative action really helped me a little bit get my foot in the door at J&J, and it helped me get my foot in the door at Time Inc. Because I remember the recruiter called me saying, "Hey, listen, Jeff, I know you're happy at J&J, but I got this exceptional opportunity for you to come to Time Warner. They look for a person of color. Your problem with the products that they have, there's no doubt in my mind you're going to blow these guys away." I wasn't quite sure I wanted to do. I guess I had some confidence issues around, could I really make it at that level? Matter of fact, the day of the interview, I overslept.
Oh, goodness.
Mm.
I overslept it because I was working on a big presentation for a customer with J&J, and I actually called the recruiter. I actually called the senior vice president of Time Inc. at the time and said, "Hey, listen, I got to apologize. This is probably not going to look good for me, but I overslept the interview, so I will not make it." And I said, the reason being is because I had this big presentation. I was up all night long preparing for it, but if you consider giving me another date and time, I would love to. They loved the authenticity. They said, "Great." I came in, landed the job on this. I knew I had that job. As I went through the interview, I was so confident. God is good. So by the time I got down from the 40th floor in the Time Inc. building to the bottom of the floor, the recruiter called me and said, "They love you." And from there, I landed there, moved up the ranks. And that's when I first started managing people. And the skill set, let me talk a little bit about skill set, because I go into the book about that. So when I was at J&J, I learned the skills. They do a lot around training. So I learned a lot around influencing, selling, bottom line. A little bit of managing quota and setting goals. When I moved to Time Warner, it was different. He said, "We love your skill set. We love the fact that you've been using our data to sell Tylenol. But what we really want to do is take your analytical skills to new heights."
Well.
Yeah, so because you're going to be dealing with clients like PepsiCo, Johnson & Johnson, all these different companies, and they're going to want to ask you questions in terms of our data of how do you leverage our data to sell more products in Hispanic markets, New York versus LA, all these different key areas that they were looking for, but you need to bring analytical tools to the table. So I was able to learn to do that. But one of the critical skills that I was able to pick up that I invested tremendously in, and that was public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I tell anybody, as I talk about in the book, anywhere I go to lecture at, I'm telling you, if you want to make a name for yourself, invest in public speaking skills. I went to Dale Carnegie. I went to Toastmasters. I went to any place, anybody that had training. They gave me an opportunity to really enhance my public speaking skills. I did it. And the job with Time Inc. really put me out there because you're in front of big clients. I'm speaking at conventions. Now my name's starting to get even bigger. And that's when PepsiCo came calling. And they said, "Hey, listen, we hear great things about you." They got my name to someone else who I knew coming through the ranks. One thing led to another. They brought me in. And so here's what they sold me on. They said, "Okay, so you were at J&J. You got great training on selling. You were at Time Warner. You got great training on analytical skills." He said, "Here's what we're going to do. We're going to teach you how to run a business."
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, they said this is a little bit different. We're going to take your game to another level because you're going to be dealing with P&L. You're going to be managing facilities. You're going to be managing large groups of people. Your skill set is going to be vast. And bottom line, before you know it, you're going to be a GM in this organization at some point in time. So to make a long story short, I spent 24 years at PepsiCo. Everything that they promised me, they delivered on. I did international. I was over in South Africa for a minute. So I had some unbelievable experiences at PepsiCo. I even had one experience. I even talk about this in the book as well. I had dealt with something that most people don't talk about as much. I dealt with bullying.
Really?
I was a 20-year executive, knocking the ball out of the park.
Really?
A new executive comes in and decides that he had a reputation for bullying. And he was bullying everybody, even a good friend of mine got bullied. I'm running an 8-state region, making big money. And all of a sudden now he came in, I never forget as long as I live. He told me, he said, we were doing a mid-year evaluation. He said, this evaluation will be like an evaluation you've never had in your life. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. I didn't see this coming. I guess you go almost like being like a sucker punch. I didn't see the punch coming. And he hit me. And he hit me every which way you can think of. You want to talk about my pride, everything I put the work into, my skills. He actually degraded me almost as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, I'm
How
telling you, he degraded me almost as a man. I'm not going to put his name out there.
Mhm.
But God is good. And going through this process taught me something else. In this game we call life, that I actually carry over in the book. And I talk about you either got to fight or flight. A decision has to be made. So at that point, and I have to admit, when he sent me home on a Thursday, he told me to come back on a Monday, rethink. I'm not like some little teeny kid. I'm a GM. I'm an executive. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. God is good, because what happened was one of the most important pieces that everyone needs to have in their life, just like a CEO, you need to have a strong inner circle. And if you're a CEO, that's why CEOs have board of directors. They're not running the companies by themselves. You need smart people around you that are equal or smarter than you.
Yes.
That
Yes.
are battle tested.
Yes.
So
yes.
they have gone through something. So I got I guess you can call my board of directors together. And I laid out the facts from his perspective and the facts from my perspective. And when you have people that you trust, you have the same values, but you also want them to push back on you. They came back to me and said, you're going to have to fight this guy. And based on the facts that you're giving me, this is going to be a victory for you. So one of the sound bites was after a series of emails. And one of the things I talk about in this book is that when you're fighting at a high level in corporate America, you just can't keep this like a one-on-one battle. If there's something really going on with the person that you're working for you, and they're not following the values of the corporation, you have to expose it. So what I did was, through the leadership of my executive, I'll call it my inner circle. I had VP of HR, and they didn't work for the company. I had finance people, so I had a good, diverse group of people. So when I started to write this document, I knew the document was going to be tight. And the document is not an essay. The document is very fact-based, bullet point to the point. But here's the beauty of it. Here's where I think it's I got this out of the 48 Laws of Power. You can't let them see where you're coming from. So one of the things that I did for this individual that was a checkmate was he thought he was going to get an email from me that was just going to be one-on-one between me and the VP of HR. No, Jeff, because of my inner circle, he said, no, you don't do that. You send your email to the CEO. You send your team. You send it to everybody at a senior level, so you know that, number one, you mean business and you are confident. And oh, by the way, your email is fact-based.
Right.
Checkmate.
Right.
So 24 years at PepsiCo. Eventually, it came back because we went through a restructuring. So 4 years later, at that point in time, my days were over. It happens. The guy was good and moved on. And then I went from there and I transitioned over to Campbell Soup.
Oh.
Yeah. So I left and I went to Campbell Soup. And the other thing with my career, I moved my family up and down the East Coast. I was going to move to South Africa when I went to South Africa, but I decided not to do that. And I'm glad I didn't, because at the point in time I went over to South Africa, they had just gotten out of apartheid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was very challenging over, even as a person of color. So I moved over to Campbell Soup, different culture, but something really, and this is where the lead up to where the book comes in at, something really interesting happened. I started to have confidence issues, and it transitioned to mental health issues. Let me let you pause on it. That's why I got to this title of Welcome to Rock Bottom University, because I hit rock bottom. All of a sudden now, this top-notch executive, Time Warner, Johnson & Johnson, PepsiCo, now Campbell Soup. Now I'm having, at this stage of my life, I'm having some confidence issues that are transitioned into mental health issues, And let me tell you what I mean by mental health. I ain't just talking about a little depression. My mental health issues were so severe. I was seeing a psychiatrist. I was seeing a psychologist. I was taking Prozac. I was taking Ativan.
Wow.
All survival stuff so that I can continue to do my thing in this corporate America role.
And I appreciate you for saying that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and what happened was I got sick. And I got real sick. And the sickness happened on a business trip. I was out in San Francisco, California, January 16, 2013, a day I'll never forget as long as I live. Bringing my team out.
Wow.
We're doing some business stuff. I'm taking them the next day. I'm taking them on a trip to Alcatraz so we can do a little team building. I'm going from the first floor on the Marriott Hotel downtown San Francisco to the second floor. Just from the first floor to the second floor, the elevator is only two of us on it. There's a senior couple in front of me. And that's only about maybe 7 to 10 seconds to go from the first floor to the second floor in the elevator. By the time them doors open up on the elevator, your boy was on the floor out.
Wow.
Out. Next thing I know, I see 911 all around me. I couldn't figure out what the heck happened to me. He lifted me up. They said, hey, listen, we think you may be a little dehydrated. I'm like, okay. But when they stood me up, I went back down again. So I couldn't keep my balance.
Oh my
and
goodness.
by the way, here's really this top-notch executive had one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. So now my vanity is in its completeness because I threw up.
Oh wow.
And my bowels broke.
Oh,
and I'm the guy. I'm dressed to the hilt, isn't it? And now I'm like, oh my gosh, my bowels broke. I threw up, face all jacked up. My team is coming up and down the elevator because they're thinking I'm going to meet them downstairs because we're going to lunch. But no, that wasn't the case. I was being 911. So I went to, I got rushed to the hospital. So when I got to the hospital, they told me, they said, listen, we think you're a little dehydrated, but did you know you have some internal bleeding going on?
Oh my God.
Wow.
I said, no, I didn't know. And I'm a guy that's conscious of taking care of myself. I didn't see any internal bleeding. They said, well, you got a little internal bleeding going on. And basically what you should do is go see your primary and get that checked out. But here's the interesting piece here. I'm in San Francisco. I had an apartment in Malta, New Jersey, because Campbell's is located in Camden, New Jersey. My wife and kids are still in Raleigh, North Carolina, because my oldest daughter's in college. My youngest daughter is in high school, and I didn't want to move her at that stage. So I'm going back and forth. So I told the doctor, I said, maybe I thought I did. I said, my doctors are in North Carolina. Well, long story short, they released me the same day, gave me a little something to snack on, gave me some water. I go back, I meet my team in the lobby area. And I say, they said, how you doing? I said, I'm okay. They told me I was dehydrated. I didn't tell them I had internal bleeding going on. I thought I was going to be okay for to take them on the team trip the next day. Nah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, a few hours later, I go up to my room. I get something to eat. Coming downstairs, the guys were going to walk to the restaurant. The ladies on my team were going to take a cab. And I thought, yeah, you know what, Jeff? Maybe we should take a cab. So make a long story short, the ladies decide to walk. So we're all walking. So now I'm walking maybe 2 blocks into this walk. The city started to spin on me. It's about 60 degrees. It's a beautiful evening. Next thing you know, I'm sweating. And next thing you know, I'm passing out again. And then one guy with me grabbed me, sat me down on the ground, and I couldn't believe what was happening to me. What should I have done? I should have went back to the hospital, but I didn't. This is where this executive who's known for exceptional thought and leadership now is making all these bad decisions. So what was the bad decision? I get back to the hotel. I should have went to the hospital. That was decision number 1 that was bad.
Right.
Number 2 was I started to see the internal bleeding. It was bad. So I should have went back to the hospital. But what did I do? I got up the next morning. I called my executive and I said, hey, listen, I'm really not feeling that well. I had a bad experience yesterday, and I am at this point in time, I'm going to lead the team here in San Francisco. I've got, Joe and I can't remember, Joe Burks. He's going to head up the group while I'm going because I've got to get to the hospital. And they're like, wow. So what did I do? Internal bleeding, passed out twice the day before. I take 2 airplanes.
Oh, wow.
I get on 2 airplanes. I fly from San Francisco to Dallas, and each of these stops, I'm bleeding. I am bleeding. And taking those 2 flights, so I go from Dallas to Raleigh, and that's where my wife met me, and we get rushed to the hospital, but the 2 flights came back to haunt me. So we get to Duke University. I get to my doctor. He tells me, he said, Jeff, your blood counts are 4. This is crazy. I can't believe you. Why did they let you go? I don't know, doc. So make a long story short, he rushed me to Duke. The Duke people, it's like one of those TV shows you see. They were waiting for me. As soon as my wife pulls up, they were ready to take me in for an operation. So I had surgery. I come out of surgery. I had 13 blood transfusions.
13.
I had 13 blood transfusions.
Wow.
13.
I had 13 blood transfusions. And I'm the same guy that when I go get my blood work, I don't even like the little needle. I got to look the opposite direction. Now I got to look at them bringing bags and bags of
bags.
blood.
I've had one with 1 bag. I cannot imagine sitting there through 13 bags.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that was a period of 3 weeks in the hospital. I've never been in the hospital. I've been at that point. I was always carrying myself very healthy, always running and gunning. Never thought my invincibility would be attacked at this early age. I was 57 when it happened. So I'm in the hospital for 3 weeks. In that 3 weeks, no computer because lawsuits for companies. You can't touch a person like that. So now I'm soul searching. I'm like, what do I do? Can I, and basically I asked the doctor, where did this come from? And he said simply stress.
Stress.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stress.
Did you have
Jeffrey-
stress ulcers?
Yeah, that's what drove it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Dr. Angie.
Jeffrey, let me interrupt you for a second. I want to put your contact information up on the screen. Do you prefer our audience to email you, or is there a website? What would you like?
www.rockbottomuniversity.com.
Rock Bottom University. Okay, and then we've got a question that came in, and I want you to be able to get back to your story, but I want to get to the question was, do you recommend your former career to those that are coming out of college now?
Great question. I do, but I'm going to put a caveat to it because one of the reasons and the way I'm going to answer the question is I'm actually working on a workshop right now for universities.
Okay.
And this is called Leadership for the Journey of Life. It's a boot camp. It's 2 days.
Okay.
And part of the reason I answered that way is because the world is different now. Sales is still an outstanding career.
Mm-hmm.
However, the one thing I tell anybody now, I don't care what career you're in, make sure that you take time to think through what can you do if you lose your job. What other skill sets do you have that you could start a business with? These days now, it's different. Trying to say you're going to be at one company for 30 years, you're going to do this and that. No, you got a parallel path, which means you got a career and you got a business.
Got it. Okay, I'm going to put you backstage for just a little bit. Don't go anywhere because we want to hear about the book. But I'm excited about our next guest that popped in, and I don't believe she's going to be with us long. Sister Nakia is going to be joining us in just a minute. She is a part of the 10th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar. But before we bring her in, let's hear about a conversation with Mama. A conversation with Mama.
Many will come on this segment and they will come because they need to have a conversation with their mama.
Amen.
A Conversation with Mama is a series of episodes that discuss different topics that are important to you. Standing on God's Word and the Scripture as found in Proverbs 31:26. Now it's time for today's episode of A Conversation with Mama. Sundays at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. DJ Shaheem Care Mix Edits. Explore innovative fusion music of hip-hop, house, Afro beats, and gospel genres all rolled into one perfect mix. Visit the world of a gospel praise experience as DJ Shaheem shares his new edit packs, filled with a remarkable experience. Enhance and elevate your worship experience through praise as we embark on a new and unique purpose to glorify Jesus and what he has been able to do in our lives. If you are looking for a different vibe in your worship and praise experience, this will definitely keep you moving and inspire you throughout your day and week. These mix and edit packs are not only for DJs and radio stations, but are meant for gospel music lovers as well. Take time out and visit DJ Shaheem Care Mix Edits for your music source. Support the ministry as we reach others and draw them closer to Christ. Stay blessed, safe, and encouraged. DJ Shaheem Mix Edits. .sellfy.store. A Conversation with Mama comes on every Sunday at 3:00 p.m. I loved what they did for the Mother's Day episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do for Father's Day. It's a wonderful, quick episode, 30 to 45 minutes every week. And it really can hit home, So I'm going to bring Avalon back in. Avalon, thank you for finding Jeffrey. I can't wait to bring him back in later on. Man,
yes, very
I tell
interesting.
you, I know. But we're going to bring Nakia in right now. Hey, girl. Hey. Can you hear me, Nakia? Can you hear me, dear? I love her earrings. Hey, Nakia.
I don't see her.
You don't see her?
Mm-mm.
And I don't think she can hear us. Nakia, if you can hear me, go back out and come back into the studio. See if that helps.
Oh, there she is. I see her now.
Can you hear me, Nakia? What do you think?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Yes. I love your earrings, girl. Yeah, I think we lost her. She's frozen on this end. Oh, there you are. There you are. Listen, I want you to try to get closer to your router. Your connection is really slow. Man. Can you get in the house a little bit closer to it? Yeah, if you can get closer to the router, then
are we good? Are we here now?
I hear you. Yes. Yeah, it's having trouble buffering. So see if you can go in the house and then chime back in. That might work. Oh yeah, we lost her. That's a shame. I really want to talk to her. I hope she can come back in. Okay, so Avalon, I know we got to hear more from Jeffrey about his book, but before we bring him back in, I want to ask you about your books, your children's book collection. Because I tell you what, kids are out of school and they're going to want something to read. And so can you tell us briefly about some of these books?
Well, yeah, the book I started with the children books because I was at a book expo and one of the authors was talking to me and she was a school teacher from my town. And she asked me, do you do you write children books in your profession? Because I'm a registered nurse. And I said, no, I never even thought of that. So the first one I did was the one in the corner, Mommy, Why Do I Have a Cold? And that was about one of my grandchildren. But what happened is sparked it was like a triple effect because it dribbled down to the other grands. I have 7 grands, 3 great grands. So they wanted to know where was their book. So I started writing a book about each one of them, and each one of them is a character in these books. So they each have a book where they are the character, and that's why I have so many children books up there. So I am still working on one that's coming out now because my son is teaching his daughter how to play a guitar. So he won a book about a father that's teaching his daughter how to play this electric guitar. So that's the next book coming out. So yeah, like you can go on Amazon. They're all on Amazon. But if you go through my website, Author Avalon S Brown.com, click on the book will take you directly to Amazon. So it's easy to find me that way, more so than trying to find me on Amazon.
And then tell me right quick about this one, because I love this book cover. My Dad and the Big Machine. What is that one about?
Well, my great grandson, his father, like 7 years ago, his father ended up on dialysis as a young, in his 20s. I think he's about 30 now, but he ended up on dialysis because him and my grandson spent a lot of time together. But once he got sick, all of a sudden, because he had high blood pressure at such a young age and wasn't taking care of it, they weren't able to go out a lot. So once he got on dialysis, he was able to explain to my grandson, that the machine was going to make him, being on the machine would make him feel better, and they would be able to spend time together again. So that's what that book is about.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. He
Absolutely.
now has a kidney transplant, so he's no longer on dialysis.
Oh,
he had a transplant 2 years ago. Yes.
Praise
he's
God.
Doing good. Yeah.
God. All right. We'll be chatting more about the rest of the books, but yeah, I think that one, I absolutely loved Mommy, Why Do I Have a Cold? Because I love the way you broke it down about washing your hands and everything.
Yes.
I love that one. Is timeless. But the Big Machine, I can't wait to check that one out. That's going to be good. Okay, let me see if we can get Nakia back in here right quick. Hey, girl,
Oh, there she is.
Hello. I just had to do it from my phone. My laptop wasn't. My word has left me.
It wasn't connecting.
It wasn't cooperating. That's what I was trying to say. I could not get that word out. Menopause brain.
Now you are outside. What city and state you live in?
I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I think Mr. Jeffrey Lee might know a little something about Philadelphia. So we're
okay.
That's good. Listen, I am honored that you're going to be joining us at the 10th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar. Thank you.
I am honored to have been selected to participate. I'm so looking forward to it. And I actually have family. My mother is from Jacksonville, so I have family that I haven't seen in decades that I am very much looking forward. I'm hoping that they'll be there, and I'm very much looking forward to reconnecting with family. So
Girl,
it was perfect. It was such alignment. It was perfect. It was divine.
Look at God. I tell people that before I start inviting people, I say a prayer and I say, Lord, will you just send me whoever would benefit from this?
That's right.
And then when those friend suggestions come up, I don't count it as coincidence. I count it as a gift from God.
That's right. In all things, pray and seek his counsel. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I promised I wasn't going to keep you long, but I want you to. I've always got people coming to me asking me, how do you just exist in the world with no hair? You just bald wherever you go. Do you have any advice for somebody that's considering, the bald look from alopecia or any other hair loss? You got any suggestions?
Do it.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got. Do it.
Let's do it.
There is a freedom, there is a confidence, there is so much time added to your get ready in the morning, all the things. Just do it. And if you don't like it, put a wig on.
Yeah. Put
Just
a
do
hat
it.
on. Yeah.
Put a hat on, put a wig on, but embrace your whole self, embrace the body that God has given you. You know, little kids ask me, how come you don't have hair? I said, because God didn't give me any. Yes, I didn't do it. It's no fault of my own. So there's no guilt to be had. There's no shame. There's nothing we did to cause it. It's the lot we've been given. And like the song says, whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Just do it.
It is. Absolutely. Girl, I tell you, that is something. That is something. Listen, we're going to bring Jeffrey Lee in so y'all can meet each other. Jeffrey, this is Nakia.
Hey, good morning.
I'm from Philly. I get back every 4 weeks. That is my city.
Okay, yep. Born here, raised here.
Yeah, I was born in South Philly and raised in Southwest Philly.
Well, not 100% true. I was actually born in Manhattan, but I've lived here my whole life. I was only in New York for a few weeks, but definitely went to Central, went to Springside, went to Central, went to Spelman, came on back home. So here I am.
Yeah, I went to Overbrook. We just did our reunion.
Okay.
Yeah, a year ago. It was phenomenal. Yeah, I love Philly.
Yeah, I missed my 30th Spelman reunion because my daughter had my grandson, so I had to be front and center for that. But yeah, time flies.
That's a great education.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Well, Nakia, I thank you, honey. I thank you because I know as we get closer to the beauty bazaar, it's going to be a whole lot more conversations. But thank you for coming on.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
I want you to enjoy the rest of your Saturday and get with Avalon. We're going to have you come back on again.
Okay, very good. And I just wanted to put
that's right.
I published this maybe a month or two ago. I published a journal for the hair loss and bald community called No Hair, Don't Care. And it also is available on Amazon. And it just has some affirmations. It has, prompts for people to think about on their bald journey, and space for them to take notes, and just for people to document. When I started, I was afraid, but as I've gone on, I have more confidence. How do you draw on your confidence? Where does it come from? How do you encourage yourself? You stand in the mirror before you go out. Okay, I'm about to go out. I don't have no hair, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Head high, chest out, chin up. Make the world see you. So encourage everyone I'm just out there promoting the journal. Someone from Utah bought it and I was so excited. I was like, if that's the only person who buys it, then that's who that journal was for. But certainly want to share that with your audience.
Thank you for reminding me. I know it just went past my head.
No.
Yeah.
You're planning a whole pageant. You got a lot going on. And then Love Illusions is my book of poetry that I published in December. That was my first book I published. And I've been writing poetry for 20 years. It's been in a folder in a drawer. Finally put it all together, typed it up, and got it published. So I've written 70 new poems since December. So that'll come out next year. Wow. So just trying to embrace all that life is all that God is embracing and putting in me and putting before me, just trying to embrace it and walk in it. So
well, keep this show in mind. We are Books and Besties, and we're here every Saturday from 11 to 1. We want to talk to besties like me and you, but we also want to talk to authors, ministry leaders, and community leaders and entrepreneurs. So whenever you got a book that comes out, get in touch with us. We'll get you on the show, and send me an email so we can try to get you registered as a vendor. That way we can have a volunteer to watch your table while you're modeling.
Beautiful. Will do. Jeffrey, look forward to meeting you when you come back home.
You got it. Thank you.
All right. Let's keep in touch.
All righty.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness. That was
Oh,
beautiful.
nice.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. All right, Jeffrey, hold up your book cover. Tell us about this project of love. Oh
Yeah, this
goodness.
is Welcome to Rock Bottom University, the ultimate guide to rising up. It took me 5 years to write the book. And let me put some context to it. There's 5 themes to this book. First theme is do not let where you launch from in life determine where you land in life. The second theme is do not let your moments in the valley or dealing with adversity keep you permanently enrolled in Rock Bottom University.
Okay.
Number 3, do not be led by your distractions, but by your dreams.
Well, say that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 3, do not be led by your distractions, but by your dreams. Number 4, embrace God's word in Jeremiah 29:11 that your best is yet to come.
Mm.
And then number 5 is leave a lasting legacy that makes God smile.
Yes.
When I built the book, one of the let me just add one other piece to the conversation we were just having, which really led me to rock bottom. And I'll tell more about the book in a second. After the 13 blood transfusions, being in the hospital for 3 weeks, I finally get a chance to go home. And I learned a little bit about stress was the key factor that got me to this point where I got very sick. Well, it didn't end there. I'm home for 2 days. I began to start having breathing issues.
Oh,
I
goodness.
couldn't even have a normal conversation, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I couldn't wait for my wife to get back. So my oldest daughter was home from college at the time, and I told her, you got to take me back to the hospital. So she takes me back to Duke. They're like, you just left here. You want to see us again? You've been here for 3 weeks. So I go in, and I said, something's wrong. I can't breathe. And I got a little asthma, but this is not an asthma symptom. This is something else going on. Sure did I find that out. So after doing some tests on me, they came back to me and they said, you got a problem. And I said, what's the problem? They said, you have 6 blood clots on your lungs.
6.
6. And they're nice.
Now, Jeffrey, let me tell you how significant your story is. Avalon is a retired nurse.
Okay.
Over 40 years of nursing. So when you see her shaking her head, she knows exactly how bad that is. Oh my goodness. 6 blood clots.
6 blood clots on my lungs. And they said it was coming. Remember I told you I made 2 bad decisions. I took 2 airplanes.
Yeah.
Remember I told you I was bleeding the day before.
Yeah.
I passed out twice. Nobody should be getting on 2 airplanes to fly across country. But because I did that and I was afraid, I did not move. That's why anytime I fly now, I am constantly moving. You just do not want your body to sit still on a flight. So at that point, I asked the question of, okay, what does this mean? They said, this is not going to end well for you. That's not the conversation I was expecting to hear.
No.
They said, bottom line, and the reason for it is because for most people that have blood clots, you give them blood thinners. We can't give you blood thinners because if we give you blood thinners, you're going to bleed out. You were in here for internal bleeding for 3 weeks. We were feeding you blood.
Right.
So then I asked the question, so what's plan B? He said, really is no plan B. We're just going to basically try to have to make you comfortable. That conversation took place at 6:30 in the evening. So at that point in time, you can imagine my anxiety going to all-time high. Then I started, getting extremely depressed and emotional around, wow, I made a bad decision. I should have stayed in San Francisco, been treated there instead of flying back home on 2 airplanes because now I got 2 clots that basically is going to take my life. So I went through from 6 o'clock until 2 o'clock in the morning. It was brutal. I had my wife call my sister to let my mom know that I'm in trouble, and she's in Philly. I wanted to see her before I closed my eyes. I had no idea how much time I had. I just had no idea. I knew it wasn't a lot. So, make a long story short, God is good.
Yes.
My conversation went to new heights with God.
Yes.
Because I knew at that point I had no other options. the doctors had already told me party's over. So 2:00 in the morning, another doctor, they had been bringing all these different specialists and all, and this is Duke University Hospital. And this one specialist came in and he said, I think we got a chance to do something with you. I'm like, it will give me a chance to save my life. He said it could. I said, so what do we got to do? He said, what we're going to do is we're going to open up your stomach and we're going to put a metal filter into it because those clots are coming up from your legs. The next one goes directly to your heart. You know, you're going to die. It's going to happen. You already got 6 clots move. They don't stay still. So we got to protect you right now so that another clot does not come up from your legs and go to your heart. I'm like, okay. I said, I'm ready. He said, well, we can't do that until the morning. I said, okay, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it to the next morning? He said, you are. You should. And I said, well, I can't sleep. My anxieties, I can't breathe, anxiety. So we're just going to give you morphine throughout the evening. You're going to be okay. So next morning, I woke up. I saw the sunshine. And I didn't see my wife coming until later. I'm like, am I alive or where am I at? And once doctors came in, I was like, I'm alive. And they took me back and they cut me. Here's the interesting thing. When they cut me like 5 inches from my family jewels. And the reason I know this is I wasn't totally out. They told me because I was so sick, they were afraid to totally put me completely out because they weren't quite sure I was going to survive. Wow. So they kind of had me dazed, but it wasn't painful. But I knew where they were cutting at because they had already shaved me down there and they told me what they were going to do.
Yeah.
And once we got the filter in, they told me, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have this filter stay in you for 3 months. After 3 months, we're going to bring you back in, and maybe 4 at worst. And at that point, if everything's okay, then we can put you on blood thinners. But in the meantime, for these next 3 to 4 months, all you're going to do is ring the bell for your wife.
Oh.
We do not want you to move because you still got 6 sizable clots on your lungs that we can't treat until we can treat it 3 or 4 months down the road with blood thinner. Okay. So for 3 or 4 months, I did nothing. I just sat. I was afraid to move because I didn't want them clots to move. Mm-hmm. So when I went back after 4 months, I told them, I said, hey, listen, I'm assuming when we take, because they got to take this filter out of me now. They said, I'm assuming when we take this filter out, you guys are going to knock me out because I do not want to be awake feeling that cut around my family jewels. They said, you're not going to have to worry about that. We're going to knock you out, but we're going to take the filter out through your neck. I said, I said, you're kidding me. You're taking it out through my neck. He said, yep, we're going to go in through your neck. We're going to hook it. We're going to bring it out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have never asked. I said, am I going to have a major scar? I said, nope, you're not going to have nothing. You're just going to have to be careful. Like when you're out on the beach, make sure you always protect that side because you're going to have some sensitivity. Make a long story short, I came out of that surgery successful. I stayed home for the balance of the year. So a whole year, not working.
Wow.
Now I had a lot at stake. And one of the things I had at stake was I was relocating from Raleigh to New Jersey. So I had a relocation package to hold down. I was telling my wife, I said, I can't quit the job. Not right now. It's too much at stake. So making a long story short, I was able to go back and I worked for about another 6 months. And that's when I made the decision that once I got back there, it was like business as usual with corporate America. I back on the airplanes, running business and all these kind of good things. And I decided at that point I had to retire. And I put a lot of things on behind me, and money had to be one of those things I had to put behind me because nothing's more important than your health, which led to the writing of this book. So the book has basically 11 chapters to it. Chapter number 1 is called Down, Out, and Up Again, a Rock Bottom Experience. That's when I went through that difficult period of time of fighting for my life. Chapter 2 is called Now What? Now that I'm retiring sooner than I want to, what do I do with the rest of my life? And one of the things you'll find in this book, because I didn't want readers, I love reading, but I also love for authors to kind of connect the dots from one chapter to the next. So one of the things I do with this book, every chapter that you read, there's a series of questions at the end of that chapter. You just can't read a chapter and then you can move on to the next chapter in my book. That's just not the way it's laid out. So there's a question because I want you to self-reflect on what you read and how does it impact you personally. And at the bottom of the chapter, besides the questions, there's a lesson. One lesson out of that chapter. So chapter 2 is called Now What? Chapter 3 is called Distractions, the great potholes of life. Remember, I told you, don't be led by your distractions, but to be led by your dreams.
Dreams, yes.
I go deep on 10 specific distractions that get people in trouble. And I don't just talk about these distractions. I put well thought out solutions on how to deal with them. It's everything from fear, regrets, worry, anger, food, money, alcohol, drugs, you name it. I lay these 10 distractions out because it takes people so much off of their game.
Wow.
Chapter 4 is called Moments of Truth. Everybody, as long as you're on this earth, according to God's word, consider pure joy, my brothers and sisters, faced with trials and tribulations of this world. You're going to have a moment of truth. You're going to have a crisis in your life. And the question, and this is why people get the difference between successful living and poor living is you get the decision-making process wrong. You can make every decision you make is not going to be perfect. You just can't get the big ones wrong. And that's what I call the moment of truth decisions. So I go deep on moments of truth, and I go deep on moments of truth because I want people to understand that you have to take time to reflect on what needs to be accomplished. And you can't do that in a vacuum all by yourself. Now, let me tell you the part now, there's a piece I got wrong because when I got sick, I was embarrassed. I'm a top-notch executive. Who could ever think I couldn't even think of telling my mom that I got mental health issues? I'm saying a psychiatrist, whatever the case may be, because I was too embarrassed. I made one decision to talk to one person and it changed my life. That's what put me in front of the psychiatrist. But when I talk about in moments of truth here, I talk about everyone, regardless of what the temperature in your life is, whether it's sunny and blue skies, partly cloudy, or you got thunderstorms or tsunami. You need a strong inner circle of people in your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You just have to have it because that's critical in terms of making decisions. That's why CEOs have that. Chapter 5 is called Destiny Living. So chapter 4, chapter 5 kind of go hand in hand together on a couple of things. Destiny Living, I take the same corporate perspective again. So chapter 4, we talk about having the inner circle. Chapter 5 in Destiny Living, we talk about when you walk in any corporation in America, you're going to see a mission statement, you're going to see values, you're going to see principles. That's how they drive their business. That's how they make decisions. That's how they build their culture. I bring that same platform. You need to have values, principles, and purpose in your life, and you got to write it out. And I go real deep. I've laid out both my values and principles in my personal mission statement in the book. Chapter 6 is called, and this is what I call my Holy Grail chapter for some of my young people. It's called Creating Your Greatness Agenda. What are the successful habits of successful people? I go through 25 particular deep habits that really separate the average individual or mediocrity from exceptional, successful living. So we really build that out. Chapter 7 is called The Power of Relationships. In this world that we live in right now, with this whole AI and remote workforce, ever since we had COVID-19, a lot of people aren't no longer, may not be working in the office. What's being missed?
Yes.
Interpersonal skill set.
Yes. We talk about that at church, even that, the bedside Baptists that are watching services online are missing out on the fellowship of church. Fellowship.
Yes, ma'am.
And even Bishop preached about it last Sunday, talking about it's barbecue season and you getting all your coals together and you're stacking them up but what if you remove one of those hot coils from the collection? What's going to happen to it? Well, the collection is still going to be hot, but the one coal that you removed is going to cool off because it needs the heat from the others to sustain itself. And so, yeah, we learned a lot during COVID. We truly did. But
The fellowship is critical.
what we also need to remember is that we need each other. We need each other. Jeffrey, I'm gonna interrupt you for just a minute.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
And we got just a couple of sponsors that want to tell us some good things. So here's Terrell Duckworth.
Hey, folks. Well, I got one more testimony I want to share with you. Identity theft. Look, I know a lot of people have a lot of programs out there, but our program goes a lot further than most. See, most people think identity theft, they think of credit. Credit is the easiest thing you can solve. But you got to ask yourself is, what else are they not telling me? I'm going to tell you what they're not telling you. It's called criminal identity theft. We had a young lady who was going to apply for a college loan. She said, sir, when I was 18, I'm 19 now, I went to go apply for a loan. And they told me I had 2 cars, a house, and a boat in my name. And they told me they denied me. I had to get it fixed. She spent countless hours. I don't know how much money she spent on an attorney, but had she had our services, she would have been notified immediately, right? That's on that side. Then you come talk about character and criminal. I know a gentleman that went to jail twice last year. Now he's thinking, hey, the cops are going to solve it. They're going to take care of it. It's going to be easy. Everything's going to be good to go. He thought he was just going down there for 3 hours. I mean, he spent 3 days. 3 days in jail for a crime he didn't commit while the cops decided to solve it. See, had he had our services, he would have been provided with a licensed private investigator. They would have had to sign a limited power of attorney. And then at that point, they would have went to work on his behalf where he wouldn't had to have dealt with that. And because he had the legal plan, the attorneys went and got his name cleared in a matter of 3 weeks, when it normally takes 2 years to clear up. I'm just sharing with you, our services makes a world of a difference. You don't have to feel vulnerable. And we're ranked #1 by Forbes several years in a row. So if you're going to get something, you're going to spend your money, let's work with the best. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for listening to me.
In a world full of noise, our stories whisper truth. Stories of faith, hope, and redemption made to uplift your spirit and stir your soul. Featuring award-winning films, Walking in the Spirit. If not for the Lord, where would I be? Delicious. And the live stage play, It Ain't Over Till God Says Over. And now, the newest film added to the streaming platform, The Signature, in collaboration with Jean Louise and James Burke. Download, rent, or stream our films at www.sisterbattenfilms.com. I want to give a very special shout out to Sister Tina Batten of the Sister Batten Films. Thank you so much for including me in one of your films and for always being supportive of the projects that we have going out. You'll be able to meet her at the Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar, September 19th in Jacksonville, Florida. She will be there introducing JTB Beauty Supply. That's the Black-owned beauty supply company that the store has just opened in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm excited about that. All right, Avalon, come on in. Tell me, this conversation with Jeffrey is got,
yeah.
yeah.
And he mentioned a point that let you know, he said that people don't talk about bullying. So
Right.
what happens is it shows that it's in every career, every corporation. His is corporate America, mine is nursing. That bullying is there. And that's why I decided to talk about it and ask other nurses to come and talk about the bullying too, because I had a similar experience like he's talking about. when a different manager came in, when I was a manager and a different manager came in, she nitpicked this, nitpicked that, and end up she gave me the worst evaluation she could give me. And she even claimed that I followed her to the parking lot and threatened her, and everybody know in that company you can't threaten a boss. I mean, the worst. And then the that's why I wrote, about like he said, you got to expose them. That's where It Was the Devil All Along came from, because the different managers that I had bullying with, especially her, I put it in the book. Now, nobody name was there, but people knew who I was talking about. She knew who I was talking about, and the thing that had end up slapping her in the face after putting out this evaluation about me, the next day she had to come and let me know that the company had given me such a big bonus. So I made sure to put that in the book. How do you get a $5,000 bonus and with such a bad evaluation? Of course, I didn't sign it. I would, people don't know you don't have to sign your evaluation. You refuse to sign. All they can do is put it in your thing. And then when I asked for a copy, mysteriously the evaluation disappeared. So it's like, yeah. So I mean, like he said, you have to expose you can't be afraid to speak up, because you get close to the people that's over them, because I mean, I had another manager do the same thing, almost not exactly like her, but because I was so close to the doctor, he flew all the way to Boston to the head of the company to report that manager, what the manager did to me. So like you said, you got to expose them. Yes. And you get close, you get that inner circle, you get close to the ones that have more power than that person.
Yeah. And I was proud to be able to be a part of that book, just helping you to promote it, because so many people, every time I posted it somewhere, somebody would contact me and say, do nurses get bullied? I got bullied at my job, or I got bullied here or there. I mean, so
a lot of bullying go on in nursing.
I think it must start in middle school, and it tries to carry into corporate life. I tell you, and the stress that Jeffrey had on him. Let me go on and bring him back in so he can finish telling. I think we left off at where we leave off at
chapter 5, I think.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about power relationships.
Okay.
Yeah, so we kind of cover that. But I love what Avalon was speaking, because that bullying thing it's real.
It's real.
And the impact that it has on you mentally, emotionally, it's brutal, because you bring that stuff home. And you're getting beat up all day, and somebody's coming at you, and then you start worrying about your job in general. You're going to have to be fired, or whatever the case may be. But no, you're spot on. So I'm proud of what you've done.
I think what helped me is because I knew I had God on my side, and He showed me how to be quiet and let Him handle it. And each time, eventually, she got transferred to another area.
Yeah, same thing would happen to my manager. Yeah, and the other thing that's really deep about it, once you do it, I mean, it sends a message to the organization, number one. But personally, for me, oh man, it takes your confidence game up to a new heights. I mean, it just takes it to new heights, because you're like, okay, I don't have to accept this. And now people respect boldness if it's done in the right way.
Right.
So we talk power relationships. Then we get to chapter 8. Chapter 8 is where a lot of folks have read the book. And I will make sure, number one, that I get a copy of this book to both of you guys. So you just got to give me an address when you get it. Chapter 8 is called Keeping Score on the 7 Big Bets in Your Life. Now, we're spiritual people. So 7 is a spiritual number. So I go very deep on, because I wrote this book to really give people a foundational map for managing successful living. So that's why I went through a little adversity, but I came out of it. I learned something. I try to share that. I talk a little bit about there's a chapter in when I talk about create your greatness agenda. I talk about those things, not only that I did as to be able to climb like I did in corporate America, but I also like other successful people, even in the arena of sports. What are those things that people do? Chapter 8 gets into keeping score. I'm a sports guy, so let's be clear about it. Number one, and also be an executive. So you need to know, I need to know if I'm winning or losing. Metrics are critical. And the number one bet that I talk about in chapter 7, the first bet is health. No health, no wealth. I did a Zoom call last week with a group called Tops, and I was talking them through basically this whole process of keeping score. I didn't go on every bet, but I talked about the importance of understanding metrics as it relates to your body. Avalon knows this better than anybody. She's a nurse. That blood work that you get annually or every 6 months or once a quarter, it tells you a story about your body.
Tells everything.
Today and potentially tomorrow. So, and the thing I talk about in keeping score and the 7 big bets of your life, and this is my corporate side coming out of me now, is I'm never blown away by an absolute number. I live off of trends. Trends tell the real story about what's going on in any given situation, whether it's your money,
right, your credit report, up and down, and you're right.
Yeah, so I tell folks when you do this deep dive in this keep the score and 7 big bets and health, I go as deep as I don't just do blood work. I haven't talked about dentists. I go to the metrics of your gum scores can tell you how healthy your teeth are. When they start sticking that little needle in your mouth, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 4. That stuff means something. So keeping score is critical in terms if you want to know a little bit about successful living. Chapter 9 is I was listening to the commercial break about you're talking about you do these once a month conversations with mothers.
Yes.
Chapter 9 is dedicated to my mother. It's called Leadership Lessons from Johanna Lee. And my mother right now is 98 years old, still strong. We came out of the tough city of Philadelphia. She's not a high school graduate, never went to college. She went through some very difficult times. My father was, Papa was a Rolling Stone, so he was never around. They divorced. We lived in some of the most difficult home situations you can ever live in. But let me tell you something. All the leadership books that I have read, even as my own leader, I have not found any leader better than my mother, because it's easier to do more when you got a lot of stuff, but to be able to do more with less, that's a real challenge. And my mom, to this day, even at 98 years old, she still coaches. One of the things I'm going to tell you, I talk about in the book, and I'll close it out here pretty shortly. One of the game-changing moments, August 6, 1974. I remember Ralph Abernathy, who walked with Dr. Martin Luther King. He was doing a speech at the university, and I was a freshman in college. And at that point, they recognized everybody who did very well from an academic standpoint. There was probably about 150 African-American students at that luncheon, and probably about 145 of them got recognized. Unfortunately, your boy was not one of them.
Oh.
And my mother, at this table of 10 of us, and this room probably had to be about 600 people, she was not having it. She was so hurt. She was so disappointed. So what did she do? She came from around that table. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm 18 years old. I'm 6'3". And if you ever watch a gunfighting movie where they see the fast guy takes his gun out of his holster, well, let me tell you something. A stiletto heel came off of her foot so fast, and she started going upside my head. The only thing that saved me was the dean of academic special services. He had to get off of me. And what did I do? I actually ran, because I was afraid that, oh my gosh, if the other college students that I came up here with see that my mom is whipping my tail at 18 years old, I can never come back. I ran back to the dorm. And as we know, we watch Netflix. They had these series, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. Well, that day I got a series of whipping. Listen, I'm 18 years old. I'm a college student. I'm not 10. She came back to that room where I was. She went to work again. And when she walked into the room, she saw I had this pyramid by the window. And on that pyramid was nothing but alcoholic beverages.
Oh, wow.
So she lost it because she said, I just lost a
Yeah.
brother from alcohol. Here, you're my first person to go to college. You didn't get recognized for academic achievement, but here I walk in here. Now I see what's going on. You're drinking. You're partying.
Yeah.
That was episode 2. Episode 3, we had a 3-hour ride back home to Philadelphia, and she beat me again in the car. But here's where the beauty of it. I'm going to bring this thing to a close. 25 years later, this guy who was barely trying to get through college, he comes back, he brings his mother back, and he gives the commencement address.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was like a moment of truth where it was like, here this guy was struggling, barely looking like he's about to flunk out of college, and now he's giving the commencement. Here's the last 2 chapters. Here we go. Chapter 10. What does God have to do with it?
Well,
so I walked the reader through everything in this book about being successful and all these other great things. I leave this chapter, like Tina Turner says, what does love have to do with it? I wrote this chapter on the 10 attributes of God, on around divine intervention. What does God have to do? And I guess you can also call it my chapter where I get to witness. I'm not one that walk around and say, oh, you need to come to Jesus. No. I'm soft about it. But this book, as people have read it, they're like, oh my gosh, you got a real, yes, I have a spiritual connection. My last chapter is called Leaving a Lasting Legacy.
Oh, wow.
So as I built this book around, designed around helping people really try to make better decisions in their life. That's what it's all about. And so now I'm on this little bit of a lecture circuit. It's fun. I'm in Florida. I got time on my hands. I'm retired. So if I'm not traveling as we do extensively, I'm actually now out lecturing. And that's my story.
Amen.
Oh,
Amen. Wow. I tell you, that was a roller coaster up and down.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. I tell you, we do have another question that came in for you. Where is it? Oh, what made you decide to write this book?
That's a good question. So what made me decide to write the book? I knew I had a book in me, but I hadn't decided to write this book. I was going to write a book on some of my corporate success. But then God gave me an epiphany. And he said, oh, you can write the book and you can talk about your corporate success, but I want you to talk about how I delivered you through your bottom moment. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be here right now. So I was going to write a book on leadership, but this book has more value. And the feedback that I'm getting on the book is people are like, we're blown away by your experiences.
Yeah.
What you've been able to come through, but where you are now in life. So now this guy that was so secretive about his mental health issues, now I'm authentic about it. I'll tell Lottie Dottie and everybody about it because I want to give people a sense of hope. And that's my message.
Right.
And I do personally appreciate you for sharing your mental health journey because I tell people you want prayer, you want pills, and you want somebody that's gonna help you because the pills keep you stable enough so that counseling can then elevate you. It's like somebody drowning in the ocean. You're not gonna stand on the shore and fuss at them for how come you didn't tell somebody and how come you didn't let me know you was depressed? How no, you don't stand there and fuss at them. You go in the water. So that's your pills going in the water. You bring them out, dry them off, feed them, and then you sit and talk with them. And you need that. And unfortunately, we people of color don't have the best reputation of going to get counseling or pills. We just absolutely don't. And so that is tragic. That is very, very tragic. Listen, I don't want you to go yet, just in case we have another question for you. I'm going to put you backstage for another minute. And it is summer vacation. There are a lot of kids across the country that are out of school, and we want them to be able to become an author and an entrepreneur this summer. So this piece talks about our summer program for Yep, I'm an Author. Please allow us to introduce you to one of the graduates of our YEP program.
Hi, I'm Sandra BEE. I live in Michigan. And yep, I'm an author.
YEP, Youth Entrepreneur Author Program. Our goal is to initiate literacy in students and lead them to entrepreneurship through authorship. Our mission is to identify and invite organizations to participate in this program. Students participate in virtual writing workshops where they are encouraged to write their stories and provide reviews of stories read. We ask you to support our youth. For a donation of only $50, your company or organization will be mentioned as a youth supporter in the next audiobook. Send an email to yepI'mAnAuthor@gmail.com to provide a scholarship for a young person to participate.
Yep, I'm an author.
Proceeds are accepted and disbursed by Angie BEE Productions. And now, these students are authors and entrepreneurs. Follow us online. Just search for Yep, I'm an Author on Facebook. Use the hashtag Yep, I'm an Author. Or call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519 for more information. If you or someone you know needs help coping with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, overcoming low self-esteem, or managing major life transitions, we invite you to schedule a free consultation call for telehealth clients. Shekinah Downs, licensed clinical social worker, is now accepting new telehealth clients. In the office, too. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. In the brand new Daytona Beach office as well. 50 to 60-minute individual therapy sessions and a variety of insurance plans are accepted. Couples therapy and coaching is coming soon. We invite you to log on to cjaqis.com. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. I think we got all of our sponsors in for today. I think we got everybody. The mental health segment that was presented by Jeffrey Lee is really resonating with me today. So I'd like to thank him for sharing. It is challenging enough to find people of color, women of color, that will admit that they got some additional assistance. And so to have a man of color share that is really, really a beautiful thing. So I thank you. Thank you. Avalon, I'm bringing you back in. I know we've been traveling down the story with Jeffrey. Did you have any additional questions you wanted to ask him?
Yes. Matter of fact, I did.
Okay. All right, Jeffrey, we got more questions for you.
Thank you.
If you don't mind.
Yes, I noticed you started a scholarship. What made you want to start that
Well, it's
for the
interesting.
children?
Yep. So when I went to college, I had to get loans, and a lot of times students, particularly students of color, they pull out of college because they run out of money. So I told myself whenever I got to a point where I had some funds, then I wanted to create a scholarship, but I wanted to be very specific about what the requirements were. Naturally, Philadelphia is home for me. Philadelphia Public School, I came out of Philly Public School. Those are foundational pieces, financial piece, but then also the GPA. And I actually have a very unique story about it. I don't know if I should do it publicly now, but so once I started the scholarship for the last 20 years, it was nice to see. And my only comment is students who got to receive the scholarship, sometimes I would make the banquets and I'd be there for them. And I would just ask them when they get to their level that they would set somebody else's life. Then I've been doing the scholarship for almost 30 years. But then I decided to do something a little bit bigger, which was the endowment.
Mm-hmm.
And the university came to me and said, hey, would you consider an endowment? And we played around with some numbers. So right now I have an endowment for $250,000 that I contributed to the university on. So, and it, for me, again, it's also part of my spiritual walk.
Yes.
Because it's about giving back.
Giving back, yes.
Spiritual walk and your legacy, definitely.
Yeah, my legacy. Thank you. Well, by the way, one thing we're just getting recognized in the book by the Florida Author and Public Association, July 31st and August 1st. So we're getting an award for the book. So we're excited about that.
That's good. That's good. Well, jot down our email addresses and send us the PDF copies of your book. We know that authors spend a lot of money getting their books published and then having to purchase their books to sell them. So if you're going to give something away, give away that PDF version. So it won't, won't dip into your finances that much. Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, this has been truly enlightening.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's been wonderful. Rock Bottom University.
Yeah.
If I may, can I ask you guys a question?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Yeah, so I got a situation coming up on Juneteenth. I'm speaking at an event, and I want to pick your brain on this here for a minute. There are two speakers. The first speaker is going to talk about the historical perspective of things, all the things that we've gotten through, voting rights, Jim Crow era, to where we are now. And they said, Jeff, would you like to speak? And I said, sure. But then I've actually rethought what I want to do. I want to bounce it off of you and maybe get some insight from you. And that is, I'm more interested in where do we go from here?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not as interested as, and I told them just the other day, I said, I'm not interested in speaking. I'm interested in facilitating the conversation. Because I don't have all the answers of where do we go from here. And this audience will be both Black and white. So when I started to sit back and think about what I think about the end game being, and I said to myself, gosh, we got to get folks to come to the polls and vote.
Yeah.
But we have some issues out there that need to be dealt with.
Quality candidates is one of them.
Yeah, quality candidates is one of them. But then I started to think about this question that came across my mind is, how did I put? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I don't think I got it. Yeah, I probably don't have it in front of me. I was trying to get to a point of a question. Let me just see if I can. I got it. Okay. I thought I had it. Yeah, I apologize.
You're okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to. My question here is. I got it. Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem. Avalon, people don't usually ask us questions. This is exciting.
Here's the question. How do we find common growth for everyone? And the reason I'm asking that question, because that question is not gender specific. It's not ethnic specific. Okay. It's not economic. Yeah, it could be economic specific, but how do we grow together? How do we find most importantly, common ground, because right now we're living in a little bit of a divisive country right now.
Absolutely.
So how do we find common ground for growth?
Well, it's funny. Avalon and I are on two completely different spectrums. I think it is a wonder to me that we work together so well, and we've done this show for a little over 2 years now. And we were drawn to each other by a common thread. We were both authors in an anthology together. And the Lord just brought us together. I don't even remember which anthology we were in, Avalon.
Oh, it's been so long. Yeah.
I don't know. Vanessa Blackwell put us together, and we're in her books, and then we just, but I think we had to find
it emerging through the curve. That's what brought us together.
Yeah. So I honestly believe a common foundation that cannot be devised individually. We were brought together collectively by God, and I think a common thread that only could have come from God. That's what I'm thinking. I don't want to answer for you, Avalon, but
well, for me, it's like it's hard for me to like see a common ground, because with everything going on in the world now, everybody got their own way. Everybody want to do. Nobody want to listen to nobody. Nobody wants anybody over them. So it's hard to bring everybody together unless now, see, I'm with Angie, like now on a spiritual level, you can bring those people who are truly spiritual, truly worshiping God. It's easier to bring them together than to bring the world. It's hard to bring the world together with those people who are the true worshipers. So it's like everything is so divided. Now you got all this AI stuff, and it's like, where is the common ground? It's so hard for me to see a common ground with all of this going on.
Yeah.
That's interesting feedback, because I'm just taking notes here, because as I was thinking about facilitating this conversation, I didn't want to be a speech. I thought I would throw out a few facts to kick off the conversation, but I wanted to make I want us to have conversation both black and white, because it will be both black and white there. The majority of the people there will probably be, we'll say seniors. And we're getting to that point now. We're going to be doing some voting stuff here very shortly. But I'm saying, what's the question that everyone, and let me just share something with you, because I actually put this out to AI. And here's what AI said.
Yeah.
So AI came back and they gave me 8 points. First one was, start with shared values. And what are shared values? Number one, everybody wants safety. Everybody wants opportunity. Everybody wants dignity. Everybody wants a better future for your family. So that's one point. Second thing it talked about is listen to understand and not to win. Growth happens when people feel genuinely heard. And this is particularly now I start thinking about young people that we need to reach out to. Number 3, it talked about focus on problems we all face.
Wow.
Number 4, it talked about tell personal stories instead of debating positions.
Well, there you go.
Right.
And then number 5, it said look for small wins first. Number 6 says assume good intentions. And number 7 says build relationships before solutions.
Wow.
And then number 8 is celebrate what's working.
Yeah, I lean toward the stories, because there's always somebody out there that's going through what you're going through, and what you testify about what you're going through and how you made it. It will, they can relate to that. There's always somebody who's like, well, yeah, I went through that. And okay, that's how they went through it, So that draws me as a question more than anything else. The stories, the testifying, because there's so many things that happen, and it's like, wow, it had to be God.
Yeah. Had to be. Had
Oh
to
no,
be.
thank you. That's good. That's good feedback. So I'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know how this conversation
Yes,
goes.
yes.
That's good. That's good. Well, Jeffrey, do you have any final comments for our audience before we let you go?
Yeah, here's my final comments to our audience, and my what I call I'll build it off my keynote address. Most places where I go, we are living in some difficult times right now.
Ooh,
You
yes.
got a war going on. You got gas prices going through the roof. You got food prices going through the roof. You got so many
Mhm.
families that are hurting, even
Yes.
before this started. And then finally, you got mental health trends that are skyrocketing. But I got good news for you. Breaking news that just came across my desk. And that is buckle up because your best is yet to come.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
hang on to it.
Yeah.
Let life ebb and flow, just like the ocean.
Yes.
It's gonna go
Yes.
out and it's gonna come back in. And yeah, we just gotta keep our faith in God. And I
Yes.
love what Avalon said earlier.
He's
Be
gonna
still
see us
and
through. Mhm.
yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
That
thanks,
is-
ladies, for having me.
And
Oh,
thank
thanks for
you. We
coming
appreciate
on.
it.
Thanks for
Yeah.
coming on.
We learned
I'm
so
glad
much.
I finally caught up with you. I tried to catch him a couple of times.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. You have a
Take care
good
now.
weekend.
Likewise. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Take care.
And happy Father's Day, Jeffrey. Happy
Oh,
Father's
yes.
Day. Yeah. I can't believe we got Father's Day coming up.
Already around the corner. What is that? Next week? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's next week.
Seemed like we just had Mother's Day.
I know. Time flying. Time flying.
It is. It is. I'm so grateful for you, Avalon. I truly am.
Thank
Jeffrey
you.
was a wonderful addition to the show today.
Yes, he surely was. Yes.
All right. Got a couple more video announcements and then we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is Author Avalon S Brown. I am the visionary of this project. Recently, I've been speaking to different nurses who have been expressing and voicing their challenges and their frustration while working in the field. So I decided to reach out to different nurses from different specialties and bring them together to create a book so that they can write about their experiences, their challenges, their frustrations that they experienced in nursing and how they overcame them and why those challenges did not make them quit. This is going to be a very important book for the next generation of nurses because they can see that they are not alone out there. The nurses before you have gone through these same type of challenges, these same frustration, but they never allowed it to make them quit because nursing is their passion. And this is what we want you to know. Keep your passion. Never let them make you quit.
Audiobook produced and promoted by Angie BEE Productions.
Wake up and turn your Saturday all the way up with Mornings with Angie BEE. Every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Angie BEE is bringing you the hottest and newest Christian hip-hop music with a message, beats that bless, and vibes that lift your spirit. Whether you're getting ready for the day or cruising through the weekend, Angie BEE's got your soundtrack, faith, fire, and flavor. Don't miss Mornings with the Queen Angie BEE every Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. on City Worship Radio.
Living with anxiety and depression can feel like you're drowning. Come join a tribe that will help you press through parenthood and life. maternalmattersfavored.org, mmfavored.org. Okay, it's time to find out what's coming up next. So let me see. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Avalon, come on back in. Come on back. I want to know about Trinity's Dress Up Day. Tell me about that book.
Trinity is the last great grandchild. She's about 5 now, maybe 6. Yeah.
How cute.
And her thing is she liked to go in her mom's closet and dress up And you know how children go on your shoes and always
Yeah.
dressing up. So my grandson, that's his daughter, he told me I should write a story about her always dressing up in the mom clothes and just pretending she's somebody else.
That's cute. That is so cute. So cute. Well, we got our final guest for today. Sister Tina Batten from JTB Beauty Supply is with us. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey
Hi,
girl, hey, how are you? How everybody?
good.
Thanks for jumping on right quick. We've been talking about
Yes,
JTB, but how long
yes.
has the store been open now?
8 months.
Oh, wow.
8 months.
Wow,
It's still a
nice.
baby.
Wow. What kind of items do you have in the store?
Oh, we have all of your beauty needs. So we have from your hair gels and hair and wigs and clip-ons and clip-ins and all of your lock gels and braiding gel and braiding hair and shampoos, hair colors, for that summer look, huh? When you want some highlights, we got you. We got nails, we got shades, okay. We got perfumes and colognes, beard kits. We got a little men's world section. My
Oh,
husband wanted yeah, he wanted to make sure that the men was represented. So we got a little
mhm,
men's world section up there where they can get all of
mhm.
their wave, and we got the racket for their twist outs. And I mean, come on now. You just got to come in. You got to come in and see this stuff for yourself, okay?
Oh my goodness, that sounds great. And thank you for getting that beard kit for me today. I'm
Yes.
gonna see you in church tomorrow and
Yes.
I'm gonna get it taken care of because
Absolutely.
I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm
Yeah,
just
see? You
thank you
get
so much.
favor. You got favor when you know the owner. You see, you get stuff like that. You get special privileges. We open up the doors for you when we close, So come on now. We wait for you when you're late. Come on now. Oh, contact lenses. We got contact lenses in there too. So yeah.
Really? Oh, to make
Mm-hmm.
your eyes different colors?
Yeah, uh-huh. Nice
Oh,
little
Wow.
hazel. You want your little hazel, your soft brown, your green. We got you. Yes.
Mm.
All of it. All of it. You
I
want to
love it.
change it up? The JTB will have you changing it up real nice.
Yes.
Wow.
The store is located at 11035 Phillips Highway
Yes.
in Jacksonville, Florida, but they have the website if you're not
y-
in Jacksonville, jtbbeautysupply.com. It's
Yes.
jtbbeautysupply.com. Yeah, and I like your shades too, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm out here. It's Saturday before I get to the store. So running a few little errands. So I wanted to make sure I hopped on,
Thank
make
you.
make time out for you all. So we're
Thank you
so
so
happy
much.
to be a sponsor
Yeah,
again, second year in a row. So we're excited.
I'm
That's
excited too.
nice.
I really am because even though we're bald, we still want to have something, you know.
Lashes,
Yeah,
lashes, and
yeah.
your nails. Yes, nail
Mhm,
polish. We got you.
mhm.
Yes.
All right, that's
And your
good.
fragrances too. That whole Yara thing everybody's been talking about. So
Yes, I have the yellow bottle.
yeah, that's my favorite. That's my
Oh,
favorite.
thank you, sweetheart. Well, I promised I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna keep you long. I know you're running, but
Yes.
thank you so much. JTB Beauty Supply, James and
Mm.
Tina Batten. The phone number is 904-717-9962. And don't forget to tell them that you saw Miss Tina on Books and Besties.
You sure did. You sure did. We're gonna make time out, okay?
All
Yes.
right. Thank you, sweetheart. And I'll see you at church
Thank you.
tomorrow. Love
Yes,
you.
absolutely. JB's preaching tomorrow, so y'all
All
come on out.
right.
Look, he's
All
an elder in the church too, okay? Rocking the store and everything. So
I love it. I love it. All right.
all
We'll
right.
see you tomorrow.
Okay. See you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Blessings,
Alrighty.
everybody.
You
Blessings.
too. Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, I love her. I love her. I love her. Yep. Yep. That is perfect. Perfect. Perfect timing. Well, I think it's just about time for us to get out of here. I hate to leave. There was one more question. One more question. Somebody wanted to know about this book, The Friday Night Secret. You
Oh,
going you Yeah. What's that one
yes.
about?
This is about a young lady. Well, actually, she's not a young lady. She's a middle-aged lady who kind of get involved with one of the workers. They both work at the hospital, but
Uh-huh.
no one knew about their. It wasn't an affair. No one knew about their relationship. I put it like that.
Okay.
And because when they were at work, they were always like cordial, so it wasn't like out in the open type of thing.
Okay.
But it was just I can't say this shouldn't happen, but yeah, they were seeing each other for about a couple of years, and
Mm.
eventually I guess she just got tired. It wasn't going in the direction. She didn't see it being serious, and she felt like it was time to let go. But they remain friends. They remain
Aw.
friends. That's why it's like a Friday night secret, because they both work 5 days a week, so they weren't able to get together until like the end of the week. So
Aw.
yeah,
Friday night
sort of
secret.
like
I
a
love.
romance.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, and so that question came in, and yeah. Avalon writes more than just nursing books.
Yes.
Oh, oh my goodness. Thank
Poetry
you.
book. Yeah.
Oh, the poetry book. Let me see.
Yes.
Do I have the picture?
It's on the website. You might have
Okay.
Avalon Spiritual Poetry.
Oh, okay. And then I know we
Matter of
got
fact,
this one
yeah,
under
I think
Nana's umbrella.
you did the audio book on the poetry book, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And then
Yeah, under
side.
Nana's umbrella.
Yeah.
Yes, each one of the grandchildren wrote like a little chapter about their experience growing up with Nana. And I put some of their pictures in the book that they gave me. They asked me to put in the book. And the book cover is actually a plaque that the oldest granddaughter gave me with all the grandchildren on there. There was no room for the great grands, but she had all the grands and their names on the plaque. So I took the plaque and took a picture and made it the cover.
Oh, that's so good. So good. Look at there. Just look at there. It's just beautiful, I tell you. Avalon, you are, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. I just want to,
Well, I'm
have a
retired
collection of
now, so I have to fill up my time.
You got any last minute tips or comments for somebody who wants to write a children's book?
Well, I mean, like mine are based on my grands and the things that they like. But the children books, if you see an ideal or something funny, because, I'm working on a squirrel book, a lady in the garden who's fighting this squirrel who's digging up all their things. And it's because I heard someone talking about it in church. I mean, there's so many different things, because that's the same lady, the ant, wanted to play in the ant leader. She was fighting them ants last year in her garden. This year, she fighting this squirrel. It's this one squirrel that just relentless, is digging up everything. She's putting traps and everything down. So I'm working on that story. Every time I hear her talking about it at church, it's a new adventure that went on with her and the squirrel. So I'm grabbing that story.
Oh, that is adorable. Yes. First it was the ants, and now it's the squirrel.
Now it's the squirrel, yes.
She just needs to stay in the house now. Lord help. Well, I pray you enjoy the rest of your Saturday and your weekend, Avalon.
Yes, you too, likewise.
It is a joy.
Not too hot today.
Oh, good. You can get outside. That's good. Well, may the Lord watch between me and you while we absent.
Amen.
One from another. I appreciate you, dear. I appreciate you.
I as well you.
All right, everybody. Enjoy your day and be blessed.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Conversation with Mama.
Many will come on this segment and they will come because they need to have a conversation with their mama.
Amen.
A Conversation with Mama is a series of episodes that discuss different topics that are important to you. Standing on God's Word and the Scripture as found in Proverbs 31:26. Now it's time for today's episode of A Conversation with Mama. Sundays at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.